fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, and well, quite a bit has happened with him. Now, as many of you could tell, Midoriya has changed quite a bit since the time skip has happened. Now, with that being said, we'll cut over to the League of Villains and their new hideout. Now, we actually do pick up with Yui Midoriya. Now, she does come walking into the hideout, and she does ask exactly where is he. To which you do actually have the doctor, who would come walking into the room and inform Miss Midoriya that right now he is healing. Now, she does actually go to run past him, her basically pushing him out of the way as she does basically blow the door off the hinges with how hard she pushes it open. Now, after she does do this, she walks into the room to see Midoriya, as his body is currently healing inside of a giant test tube, the ones that would be used to create a Nomu. Now, she does see exactly how much damage Midoriya did to his own body doing this little stunt, as she does turn to him and ask him exactly what happened to him. To which, twice, does explain. Midoriya went for the generator at Tartarus, and he underestimated exactly how much it does produce. I know, but I thought he was adapted for stuff like that. Miss, you can adapt to a certain point. However, the variables he's used to, these were actually well beyond the normal parameters. In fact, these were higher than my, recommended limits. The fact that he's, still alive is a miracle. Now, she does actually go to walk over to the tube, as she does bring her hand up and put it on the glass. As you do actually have Midoriya, who does slowly open his eyes, as half of his left eye is currently regenerating, since part of it is missing pigmentation, meaning that Midoriya temporarily blinded himself in one eye, as he does go to bring up his hand. Now, Yui, she does actually look at Midoriya. Midoriya putting 3 fingers up onto the glass where her hand is, as 2 fingers on Midoriya's right hand are currently regenerating along with part of his forearm and part of his right arm, which has been completely torn apart from the power Midoriya showed off. Now, you do actually then have somebody who does come walking up, as it's an assistant for All For One. Now, the man who does come walking up does inform Miss Midoriya that she must leave and allow him to heal properly. With proper time, he will be back to full strength, and the doctor can readjust Midoriya. Get off me, you freak. Miss, I'm just trying to help you. And you used to be number 1, but now look at you. you're here. Listen, just don't get in my way. And if you touch me again, I will take your hand. Yes, I'm sorry. Now, this All Might, or, well, servant, would go to bring his hands down to his side and put them behind his back. As he does turn to the doctor and ask him if he does need any more assistance. To which he would just simply inform him that he does not, and that he should go help All for One. Now, he would go to leave, as All Might does leave the room. Now, we do actually have over with Tokoyami, who he is currently sitting in a meeting with a ton of pro heroes. And they are asking him questions about his brother. To which he is trying to inform all of them. No, he did not know his brother was reemerging. No, he did not know Tartarus prison was going to be attacked today. And in fact, why would he be on the very force sent to investigate if his brother was going to be there? Him trying to answer all their questions to the best of his abilities. As many of them are finding it hard to believe. Now, eventually, he is allowed to leave and head home. As you do actually have, where he does walk into his apartment. And he does change out of his hero uniform and shower. As he does then head into the living room and go to sit down on the couch. As he does stay there for, let's just say, an hour or two before Asui, his girlfriend, does arrive home. Now, whenever this does actually happen, he would actually jump up and ask her if she does need help with anything. To which she would go to pull out her phone and send a text message. And at least try to inform him that right now she's just going to change, shower, and then relax. However, she could use a cup of tea, or let's just say like a certain soda they have in the fridge. Now, this will be what Tokoyami does do. He goes to get the drinks prepared and then take them back over to where the couch is. As the two would sit down. Now, they're both watching TV as eventually a news report does open up. As the two are both sitting down and enjoying their drinks. As the news report is talking about Izuku Midoriya and his reemergence. They believe that after the UA incident years ago, the vigilante was presumed dead, or he simply just fled and went into hiding. However, this is the biggest stunt anyone has ever pulled as a villain or as a quote-unquote vigilante. However, his actions here today have actually rallied people behind him. Now, this will be where the news anchor is cut off, as it does go back to the station. And the man does inform him that Izuku Midoriya is nothing more than a terrorist and a murderer. As Tokoyami, he does actually go to change the channel. And he does just try to clear his mind about everything. As Asui does actually go to grab onto his shirt. Him turning his head as she does try to say something. Now, Asui's vocal cords, they have healed, yes, but she can't really talk loud. Whispering is actually somewhat easy for her. However, actually raising her voice above, well, at least normal talking, Jesus. A normal conversation is hard for her to manage and maintain for more than a few minutes. so whispering is easier for her to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus. Anyways, now, honestly, she would whisper to Tokoyami to not let it bug him. Everything's gonna be okay, okay? Besides, we'll get him. He'll show up eventually. Now, add the rivets wherever you want there, because I was gonna try and do it, but I would probably laugh my ass off. Anyways, choose your own adventure. Now, you do actually have where they do walk up to the Tokoyami residence, and they go to slide an envelope directly into the door. Now, it's a huge yellow envelope. As the person, they do quickly take their leave. Now, Tokoyami, whenever he does go to get up and actually check the door, he would find this yellow envelope stuck in the mail slot. Him grabbing it and pulling it through, as he does look at it for 1 second. Him then flipping it over, as his eyes widen, and he stops in his tracks. Now, you do actually have where he does walk over to the table and sit it down, as Asui does see exactly what's written on the other side that made Tokoyami freeze. Since, in black pen, it says one simple thing. Hello, little brother. As Tokoyami would open it. Now, Tokoyami, he does look at the files directly in front of him, as he does see everything. There's a videotape right here. Then there's more evidence. Along with that, there's a few things here that he does not recognize. Files, videos, and, well, everything. Now, you do actually have where he does pick up a tape labeled number 1, as he does walk over to the TV and go to slide it in. Now, after he does press play, you do actually have a video that does pop up. It being Midoriya at the age of 15, where he is sitting down in front of a chair with Yui actually right behind him. Hey Tokoyami, this is difficult to at least say. What the hell? This was recorded years ago. What do you think it is? I don't know. However, let's just watch and see what happens. Now, Tokoyami would watch it, as this first tape is of Midoriya, him explaining what his plan is, and then saying by the end of it that if his plan has gone through, then he's probably watching this sometime or in the future. Hopefully not too far off. Probably about a few months or even a year. As the tape would end, and he does watch another one. As it's Midoriya around the age of 16 to 17, talking about how him and his girlfriend here, Yui, they've actually been getting a lot closer and spending some more time together. As him and Yui do both look at each other a certain way. Midoriya then turning back to the camera and saying to it that right now what he's going to do is going to be somewhat crazy. However, from what he's been informed, it's going to be necessary for what he does need to do next. Infiltrating Tartarus prison the hard way, yeah, it's going to suck a lot. And after it's all said and done, then, well, yeah, he's not really too sure. The operation he's about to go through might actually kill him. However, it's going to evolve his quirk again. Now, Tokoyami is confused hearing that, it's going to evolve his quirk. Now, Midoriya, he would then actually take the camera and say one little thing. If he does survive the surgery, he's going to ask Yui to marry him. Now, that will be where that video clip does end. And then there are the other video clips. It shows Midoriya talking about how, there's been a change of plan. He's going to go through the long way. He's not going to just try and bust in and go guns blazing, since a few things are wrong with that idea. Now, it shows Midoriya getting a, change directly in front of camera. Midoriya turns his face in a pure light and changes the way he looks, talking about how he's taking on the appearance of Matt something. Enter a last name there. It doesn't have to be consistent. Talking about how he's taking on this man's identity to get closer to the man who killed their parents. Now, Tokoyami does watch these strange video clips, many of them from months ago, some of them from years. And then there is one that is just simply labeled today. And Tokoyami, he does stare at it. And he does just think about what might be on this video clip. As he does wonder, is it his brother making amends in case things went wrong? Is it his brother saying goodbye? What is it? The idea of what this could be is making his heart race. It's making his blood run cold. His hands are shaky and he feels like he's going to vomit. Whatever is on this tape terrifies him, and he doesn't even know it yet. Now, Tokoyami would play the tape. As Asui, she does actually go to wrap a hand around him, as she does just pull him towards her as his eyes stay fixated on the TV. And you do have it. It shows a body camera footage from somewhere. You can't tell exactly where on it, but it looks like it's on somebody. Now, it does then have Midoriya where he does turn to his left and directly look at the prisoner. Midoriya talking to the man as it does show the brutal beating Midoriya does give him. And Tokoyami, he watches it all. After hearing that this is the man that murdered his parents, he actually gritted his teeth together. And he bit open his own lip. The idea of that man giving the order that nearly killed him and took out his parents pissed him off to his core. However, it's also just refreshing to see. For one simple minute, he understood what his brother felt. Everything else around him faded out and nothing mattered. It was just him and the TV as he watched what happened. Midoriya murdered the man, and then he proclaimed that this was for their deaths. As Tokoyami watched this guy get fried alive, and basically cooked from the inside out. He couldn't take his eyes away from the TV. And then there was whenever Midoriya walked back over and picked up his shirt. And then the footage just does end off there. Now, with that being said, Tokoyami was quite surprised, as he looks over everything with Asui, and she does talk about how they have to give this to pro heroes. Now, this is quite intriguing. And then there is whenever he does go to pick up a stack of papers, and a small little disc or a cassette disc does fall out, and he does stare at it confused, as it does just say 3 little simple things: SOS. Now, this does confuse Tokoyami, along with Asui actually looking at it, as we do cut to a few hours later. Tokoyami has turned in everything he's found except for this SOS disc and the video of his brother beating the man to death. Now, Asui, yeah, she was sort of against both of these two things. However, she's not going to stop him just because it's, well, yeah. If Pro Heroes found out that he has a video of that, they might think he has copies. So it's best to just let that slide by. However, whenever they did go out to turn this in, Froppy, she actually did go out to buy a player for this disc, or this cassette tape. Now, you do actually have whenever they go to play it. As Midoriya, he does actually have his voice pop up. And it's him directly before the mission today. As Midoriya, he does tell Tokoyami that this is a call for help. What the hell? Listen, Tokoyami, I'm in some shit. I won't lie to you. It's bad. Listen, All For One, the guy I work with, he's, well, a villain. I have his trust. Right now, I'm actually not anywhere nearby anyone. I'm recording this myself. All For One knows that I'm too valuable. Once I have my quirk to a certain point, he might just take it and kill me. So listen to me. Him and many others, well, they need to die. Mainly just him. I sort of have an idea of what can happen here. But it's just, I need him to be off guard. And if I'm, dead, I need you to make sure Yui gets out of here alive. Besides, I dragged her into this. It's only right that I get her out. If I am still alive, I'm going to try and convince All For One to hire you. And maybe then we can take him down. Together. Take down the threat that All Might never could. And, well, I know it's not much, but I hope it at least does show I'm trying. I never meant for everyone to die that night. The Nomu, they did it. I was concerned about getting you out of there alive. Do you hate me? Do you understand me? Would you have done the same thing in my shoes? I've been getting better. It's difficult, yeah, but I've learned. I rely on other people now. It was challenging. It was hard. I tried to follow some of your advice. It's how me and her got so close. In fact, well, I think we may actually start trying for a baby. Maybe. Oh, God. That might freak up me out. Now, Tokoyami does actually somewhat smile, remembering back on the days of their childhood. Midoriya was always somewhat lenient when it comes to certain things. He didn't freak out very much. But when he did, it was a spectacle. Now, Tokoyami does at least have a normal thought shoot into his mind. Midoriya would make a good dad. And he himself doesn't even wonder about his idea of him being a father. That quickly going away as Midoriya does continue talking. And the tape would end. Now, with that being said, we do actually have Izuka Midoriya, who, back over in the villain's hideout, he is currently wondering about what to do. As he does sit there in a test tube, him and Light Shadow are planning. And they're trying to calculate everything. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.